So we were walking and we made a new friend named Ree. Nice to meet you. Hey, what's up guys? So today I wanted to share another story about my first time in Korea. As I mentioned in the other video, my first time in Korea was my first time traveling by myself. One of the culture shocks that I had was during the first few days when I went hiking. I was pretty shocked to see how common hiking was for Koreans, especially for Korean elders. That was a culture shock to me because growing up in my environment, and I think it also has to do with like how my family was too. You know, my family wasn't really outgoing as much, especially outdoor activities. And the Asians that I knew in my environment didn't really do much outdoor activities as well. So I know it doesn't sound politically correct, but my perception at that time was like hiking was only what white people do, quote unquote. But the funny thing is, as I got older, I started hiking with friends and all that. But it still wasn't a norm to me, and I think that's due to how I was brought up. It just wasn't common in my environment. But yeah, when I first hiked in Korea, I hiked at a place called Bukhasan Mountain. We finally arrived in front of the Bukhasan National Park entrance right here. I remember when I hiked, I was just amused by how many people were hiking there. And I actually vlogged that experience. An interesting thought and observation that I have is back in America, there's a stereotype where they say that mostly Asians don't really do outdoor activities. They don't like the outdoor stuff. But just hiking in Korea for the first time, just seeing all these more elderly people hiking, it kind of changes my perception. But yeah, that's definitely one of the culture shocks that I had during my trip to Korea that time. That's what traveling does to you. I didn't really get into this whole traveling thing until 6 years ago. Before that, it never really appealed to me. I remember people encouraging me and just talking about how traveling is valuable, but to me, it just never appealed to me. But after taking that leap of faith, I now can understand the value of it. These culture shocks always open up perspectives for me, and I think it's important to expose yourself to different things so you can learn what exists in the world. It doesn't necessarily have to be traveling, but just exposing and learning different things rather than just staying in your comfort zone within what you know. Because at the end of the day, you're limited to your environment. You only know what you know. As much as people say that the internet makes the world such a small place, at the same time, there's many angles to look at it. The world is a pretty big place, and there's so much things to learn. There's so much things to see. And just because, the internet gives us the ability to watch videos of other people's experiences, it's one thing to watch it, but it's another thing to experience it too. So if one is truly capable, I think traveling at least one time in your life is definitely beneficial. That's my story of the day. I know it's kind of short, but just felt like I wanted to share that culture shock. But yeah, if you watched up to this far, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.